All right, we are live. I see the little nice red icon. Hi, welcome. My apologies, we are a few minutes late because we were just chatting, thinking we are live, but we are officially now. Welcome to another episode of Donut Wait to Get Help. And this week we are talking to our lovely partners and friends at Mission and Ministry. And so we'll go ahead and kick off and introduce everyone. Starting with you, Minister Janae, if you'd like to do your re-intro again.
Hi, everyone. I'm Minister Janae Ashley Colvin. I work on the Religious Diversity and Pastoral Care Team at Mission and Ministry. I'm going to say random things because I do that. I talk and I don't remember what I said 2 seconds later because I'm silly. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan. I live just outside of the city of Chicago now. I've been with Mission and Ministry for about a year and a half, maybe a little longer at this point. But yeah, I love the work we do. I am a licensed Baptist minister, but I always joke with people and I tell them you should ask me what percentage Christian I am that day. I believe in a lot of different things, and I don't believe that we have a monopoly on who's who. So,
Matt?
Sure. Shalom, everyone. I am Matt Charnay. I am the Jewish Life and Interfaith Outreach Coordinator for the Religious Diversity and Pastoral Care Office. I use he, him pronouns. I'm originally from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm going into I think it's my 9th year at DePaul, which is crazy. Like it feels forever and also just the other day at the same time. Yeah. And yeah, I guess that's it for me right now. We'll talk a little bit more about where Jewish life is in just a little bit, but that's it for my check-in.
Thanks, Matt. Sunny?
So my name is Azucena La Torre, but I just go by Sunny, and I am the ministry coordinator for retreats and Catholic faith formation. And I'm originally from Chicago. I grew up in Logan Square, and I also was a DePaul student, so I'm a Blue Demon at heart.
Welcome everybody. For those that are watching, please take a moment to use that check-in link down below. But let's get started. And, I know some folks probably have some questions, so feel free to type in the chat and we'll feature some of your questions as we move along here. But let's just kick it off with telling us a little bit more about your office. And I know myself personally that there are just so many wonderful partners within the division of Mission and Ministry. And sometimes I myself get a little confused with everybody because the breadth and the depth of the work that you do is just so wonderful and deep. And so if you can just give us a nice overview and give us some clarity about what you do.
It's all right. Even we get confused with some of the acronyms sometimes in our office. There's a lot of initiatives. You're right. There's a lot of different groups. And that's kind of the beauty of Mission and Ministry. It is where so many groups are coming together to kind of for one awesome mission. I guess I'll kind of take a very kind of 30,000 foot view of it, and then I'll kind of kick it over to my colleagues. So Mission and Ministry is the collection of all of the religious groups on campus, mixed with a lot of the mission offices on campus, such as, we have Catholic Campus Ministry representation here, Office of Religious Diversity. The Division of Mission Ministry also includes the Vincentian Formation and Community Service offices as well. So we're doing a lot of service things. We're doing a lot of things focused on like spiritual development and religious diversity education. But inside all of those single groups are like lots of individual groups themselves. And so I'll kind of kick it over to my colleagues to kind of tackle some of the specifics that are inside of that larger Mission and Ministry, if that's okay.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. That was great.
So in our office, like everyone you're looking at now, me, Cindy, and Matt, we're all on the student-facing side. We actually do have a team that focuses specifically on staff and faculty, but right now you're looking at the student-facing folks. We advise student organizations. We have a lot of awesome programs out of our office. Like, for example, I work with the coordinator for the Black Cultural Center to lead the Sankofa formation program for our students of African descent. I'll let Cindy talk about retreats because she's the queen of retreats, okay? I have to tell y'all, she's the queen of retreats. But we do pastoral care, any students that need any advice, any spiritual guidance they need. And our office really likes to tell people, like, even if we do not know the answer to your question, we have a lot of awesome colleagues, a lot of awesome people we know in the local Chicago community and at the university who we can connect you with if you're exploring, if you have questions. Oh my God, me and Matt love questions. It's like our favorite thing in the world is we love when people ask questions that they felt like they could never ask, questions that you had a whole long time, but like somebody told you shouldn't ask it, always ask it. So
ask it now, ask it.
Yes, ask it. Oh my God, ask it now. We will go up for that.
True. AMA, ask us anything, anytime. We're open books.
Yes, we all, you're looking at the people who used to get in trouble in Sunday school. So.
and look where they are now. They're guiding.
Exactly. DePaul wants to give them positions in ministry. The troublemakers.
Absolutely. And we have a ton of student programming. We all do so many different things, but it's all about the same mission. As Minister Jenny said, retreats, that's one of the main things that we do in CCM to cater to the needs of students who right now are virtual, right? We have lots of small groups. We have the women's group, the men's group, LGBTQ+, Catholic social concerns. And right now, you know, in this world we're living in, we're doing a lot of mail outs and things. So I'll give you an example. Like right now we're working on Dia de los Muertos mail outs. So we're taking time to send things to students, little sugar skull kit and candy to their house as we celebrate our festivities at home this year for the Day of the Dead. So we're acclimating. I think that's one of the main things that we're proud of as a division, is that we keep a heartbeat on the students and we meet the needs where we find them.
Yeah, thank you so much. And, you know, from myself and on behalf of our office and everyone watching, you know, we really appreciate all of the time and the care and consideration that you put into our work. And we just appreciate you all so much. So thank you.
Back at you.
Oh, thank you. And so, you know, this is a pretty big question. I think there are a lot of reasons why some students, you know, if not all of our students, would want to seek help from lovely folks like yourselves and your colleagues. So tell us maybe a little bit about maybe some reasons that folks would want to seek your help.
I'll start very briefly and kind of tailing off of what we were just talking about. The religious observance and ritual is the tip of the iceberg of mission and ministry. Of course, we offer a lot of this is the place to go if you're trying to find somewhere to worship and pray in different religious communities, Catholic Mass, Shabbat prayers, Juma prayers, and things like that. That's the tip of the iceberg of programming inside of mission and ministry. And I think it lends exactly into what you're speaking of. What else would you be looking at our offices for? And I specifically talk about advocacy for students. When students are seeing something that they're kind of questioning, is this the proper way? I felt awkward. You know, one of my co-students was called out in a meeting. One of my peers was made to feel, something that I don't really exactly understand. That's the kind of stuff that we are kind of a first step in. Should I talk to somebody about that? And I will say, if you have that red flag go up in your head of personal interaction, something with a staff member or administration, and you think, ooh, should I ask someone if that was appropriate? Totally. Yes, you should. And we are great people to ask. The other thing I like to say is, if you're looking for an extra set of ears, we're an extra set. There's non-mandatory reporters, there's mandatory reporters in our offices, and we're here to be that listening ear. We really are. Pastoral care is such a big part of what we do. And I tell the students all the time, in the nicest way possible, I'm not your professor. I'm not your, I'm not your parent. And I am the person at the university that can listen to a problem. And we can start, you can start here and we can find it from there. So that's a very brief one reason of why students might be looking into the mission ministry office, besides just the awesome spiritual programming that we have.
Yeah, thanks, Matt, for bringing that up, in particular the confidential versus private issue, because a lot of times our students have questions, right? And they're not quite ready to go through with a decision or something that's going to be more formalized around the area of policy, right? And so it's nice to kind of talk about what are my options, where can I go, what's going to happen, right? And so similar to HPW, another great office to seek that kind of care, which is really important. Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm one of the confidential reporting sources in our office. It's myself, Reverend Dr. Diane Dardon, and Abdul Malik Ryan. We're the three folk that you can come to if you are struggling with something around sexual harassment, assault, or abuse, as long as we're still required to report anything that happens to a minor or if someone is in immediate danger. But if you're not ready for the next steps, just like HPW has folks, just like the University Counseling Center has folks, our office has a few folk that you can come to, and we literally don't have to tell anybody you came to us. We don't have to tell anybody anything you said. We give a count at the end of the year. This is how many students. So you can know that we will absolutely keep your confidence about that and literally anything. I know me, like when we're on campus, my office is the office of tea. Like I've literally left meetings, come back to my office, and there are 6 students already in my office, already making tea, which I love, right? I love that. And I'm still available in that way. Like I take text messages, emails. You can find me on Instagram, everything. Just to check in if you just need a confidential space to vent, to find some support. If you're trying to find other students who might be going through what you're going through. I also let people know I am an out and proud queer minister. So students who have questions about that and want to talk to somebody who knows what it feels like to wrestle with your faith and your sexuality, I got you. So yeah, those are, again, a myriad of things. You can come to me, literally anything. Is it classes? Yes. Is it personal? Yes. Is it family? Yes. Is it a God question? Yes. Is it a question about your life? Yes. If you, whatever. I will talk to you. If you just want to know which herbs you should mix for a tea to help you sleep, I got you. Like, it doesn't matter.
Don't you worry, folks. We will give you Minister Janae's contact information. We'll get there.
I'm saying that recipe might have to go up on the RDPC Instagram, Janae.
Oh my God, don't play with me. I will do tea recipes.
No, I'm not playing. We're doing it.
We're done. It's happening.
A tea recipe, and then Matt can make us, that peanut butter and honey sandwich.
Exactly. Self-care. We're gonna get into it. Don't worry.
Yes, we're a space of celebration of gifts. I think that we have such a diverse staff of so many traditions and non-traditions. And I guess I would say that we help students be a space to find their space, right? To connect people with who they want to have a conversation with, where community is a real, living, breathing thing. And that's what it means to be Vincentian. And I think that we pride ourselves in that, to be able to have a wide understanding of who is, at DePaul, and the students that we can connect with one another, to build fellowship, and to know that we're not alone on this, right? That for every moment that a student has felt like, I'm the only one in the world with this issue, we know tons of other people that we can connect them with, to have a real life experience. And that's part of what makes this work so special, that we have a spirit of lightheartedness and joy that benefits the students in a practical way.
Absolutely. And thank you all. And one thing I also want to voice and let folks know is that, these are folks that are non-judgmental. They're not judging you. This is a good space to kind of just put it all there, and they are there to support you and lift you forward and push you forward. So that is, that's what we want and need, right? And I think, it goes without saying that this is like super unprecedented, really difficult, really challenging days. We were just, the 4 of us, just talking about how really difficult this time is. And, we can't ignore that. We want to create a culture that, supports each other, where there are spaces to talk openly and feel trusted, right? And, I think in this time, it's so important that we talk about our wellness, but also talk about like how we can stay grounded in mission and what keeps us coming in terms of our community, right? And I think that is something that you all do so great. And, we know that students, our staff, our community have come to DePaul for a reason, for this Vincentian mission. And so, I encourage any students to really, seek these folks out, now more than ever, like, let's hang on to each other and support each other and really, explore those roots, right? All right, so this might be a fun question, but what's one myth you want to bust about seeking help, whether that's with all of you, whether that's just in general?
That only people who have something wrong with them or are weak seek help. Yeah. I think we live in a culture that shames us on needing help, on being tired, on not being able to produce, on not being able to do enough, on not being able to keep up. If we're struggling, we think that it's our fault. And I'm a very communally minded person. I'm a very systems conscious person. We think we all are in the division. I have really great conversations with Matt and Cindy, even for my own wellness, about, when is it that I need support because maybe I'm not doing everything I need to do, which is honestly usually the least. That's usually the low. People usually really prop that one up pretty high. It's usually about the lowest thing on the list of reasons why you might need support and help. The reality of the world you're living in, what your body and your spirit and your soul needs. Sometimes when, especially now, right? Like we're really struggling with this and people feel sometimes bad because they're not keeping up, but we weren't designed, like humans were not designed for this kind of life. And if you're stressed out, if you're tired, if you're struggling to keep up, your body is actually reacting very normally. Like if you're it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's telling you something's not right. This isn't the way things are supposed to be. And it's not your fault that you feel that way. So that's one thing I really want to encourage people to do. I've talked to a lot of students and we have a lot of really good conversation about if you are feeling not quite yourself, it's not you. Like gestures widely at the world, you know, and a lot of us had that experience for whatever reasons we are marginalized or situations or contexts we're in even before this pandemic, that if you need support, if you need help, everybody does. Even on your best day, we're designed, like Cindy was saying, we're designed to live in community. We're designed to need each other. We're designed to need touch and laughter and someone to talk to and help. Anybody who tells you they're doing something wrong is either lying to you, they are either telling you a falsehood, they are not doing it alone, or they're not okay at all. And that's just real. So I just hope everyone knows that if you feel like you need help or if you feel like you're struggling, that's normal. And it's good to acknowledge that and to know that.
Thank you.
I'll throw in the idea that, like, kind of busting the myth of, like, when seeking help, you have then, like, put in this insane time commitment into something that, like, asking for help or seeing the counseling services or talking to a non-mandatory reporter does not, like, commit you for life to this office. You know, like, I think there's this kind of, like, you know, then I'm, like, in it and I have to go to all these meetings and I'll have to fill out all these reports and things like it. It's kind of up to you and how much you want to give and take in that situation. And there are people who can answer your question and move on. And there are people who will sit with you and talk and talk and talk until you don't need to talk anymore. Like your level of commitment to it is varied on what you need. And so I think sometimes that's the, like, well, if I reach out, then they're going to call me back and I'm going to have to do a thing and I'm going to have to fill out this form and then they're going to have to, like, schedule a time. Like, it's up to you, the level of help you need. And so I feel like that's a quick, don't let that kind of commitment to it stop you from asking for help.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Matt.
I would say the myth of shame, the myth that if we need help, that there is something wrong and that we are weak and that we've surrendered to something. No, if the truth of the matter is, if your foot hurt, you need to go to a foot doctor, right? It's just part of it. And so seeing a mental health specialist, it's just another kind of specialist that we might need. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to have pastoral care. Nothing has to be wrong. Sometimes it can just be a check-in. And I think that's a huge myth that if I go to these offices, there's something terribly wrong with my life. But that's not true. Your life might be really good and you just want to share it with someone. And that's valid.
Yeah, we want to be there for the wins and the successes too. And I think one thing I'll add to all of your wonderful comments is that, like, you can use, like, all of our offices, right? And you can talk to as many people as you want in the division of ministry, right? Like, you don't have to stick with just one person, right?
Exactly. There are certain communities that are already in place here that for some people, they feel naturally drawn and in place to those communities. And then there's specific staff members here who reach out to students of all different faith backgrounds, worldviews, philosophies, and lack thereof. Like, so if you're looking to talk to somebody, there might be a staff member who you feel very, like, represented. And then there might just be one extra step to find someone who's there and, you know, ready and willing to have that conversation. So
Love that. Thank you.
And we love to share. We love to share. We love to say these are our students. Like, no one you'll find that even if you do feel more close to one staff member or one particular community or group, everyone is going to love on you. Everyone is going to care about you. Everyone is going to check in with you. It's one of the really beautiful things about our team. And the students who are already with us, who are already connected with us, they can tell you that, right? Like they can tell you that, you know, they work with me on a program, but they've cried laughing in Gina Leal's office. They'll tell you that they sit with Matt and they work with Matt, but they pop into my office. They pop into Diane's office. They love seeing Senny supporting the work that they do, even if it's not like under her office, because we really care and show up for everybody.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to let our folks know that for those of you that are listening and here with us, please throw in any of your questions that you have. All right. So I know we talked a little bit about, you know, the many things and programs and services and offerings you have, but I guess what is one thing that you really want students to know about your office in addition to everything we've talked about?
I would say that we're open to listening to student feedback, right? As we've all said, we're living through something that we're not designed to live through. And so new needs arise out of new situations. And if students have an idea, something innovative, or they see a need, if they voice it to someone in our community, we can go about making it happen, because ultimately we're a resource to help find the resources. So I would encourage students to come with their ideas.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say. That I think going back to the myth of ministry is that like it's you know, a collection of learned theological scholars that are all getting together to pray. And it's for you. Like the office is for you. If you want something, tell us. If you used to have this amazing thing you used to do in your youth group, tell us about it. We would love to do that program with you, for you, like those kind of things. Exactly. Seti's right on. This office exists for the students and what the students are feeling and thinking and you know, doing. And so if you're thinking something that we're not doing, tell us and let's do it together. If there's a form of religiosity or like a group that doesn't exist right now at DePaul and you represent that, come talk to us. Let's make the group. Like you are now the president, boom, of that group. That's how those things work.
Anybody want to be president?
Yeah. And the idea that it's a living grow, like ministry is always alive and moving, and like the students' involvement and what they need, that makes the office move and shift and grow. And so yeah, it's not a stuffy, you know, hoity-toity theological discussion. It's just a bunch of people having fun and doing programs that the students are bringing to us. So
Love it.
I would say that we have a lot of resources that I don't know that everybody knows that it's for them to take advantage of. Our office does scholarships. Our office, when we do service immersions, when we do community service and things like that, if you are a student who isn't taking advantage of these opportunities because you may not be able to afford them, or you're not sure how to fit it in your schedule, or you don't know how to, we work with students to do that. You are at DePaul paying tuition. You are already paying for everything our office offers for the most part, right? And if you are a student who cannot necessarily afford the extra things, come to us anyway. You would be surprised what people in our division are willing to do to make sure that you can take advantage of the programming that we offer. And if you're in crisis for those same reasons, please let us know. Like I said, there is a lot available to you. Just let us know what you need. We will get you to that thing that you need. And I would also say that, I don't want to say this. We're the division of mission and ministry. The heart of who DePaul is, the heart of what we say when we say we are Vincentian, what we say when we say these are our values that you see permeated throughout the entire university. That's our charge. So if you have questions about that, if you have concerns about that, please bring that to us. And I'm going to do a very shameless plug right now and tell you that, you know, DePaul is in the process of revising its mission. Mm-hmm. And I've worked at other universities. I'm telling you, other universities do not ask their students what the mission should be about. And DePaul is doing that. So if you feel like you've been at DePaul for 5 minutes or 5 years or however long, and you don't feel like the mission represents what you feel like it should, we are here to take that feedback. There are a lot of formal processes for that, but if you see anything that says seeds of the mission, if you don't even remember seeds of the mission, you just remember, I remember that one curly haired minister was talking about the mission, and I got some feedback. Just hit up anybody in our division, and we want to hear that from you. You are who DePaul is just as much as we are who DePaul is. And so your voice matters in that. And so that's what I want you to know about our office, that the mission of who DePaul is something you can always engage in our space.
Thank you. And so there are so many ways to get involved with all of you, but let's not keep folks hanging on. But what is like the one-stop shop that is like a must go to find out more information?
Well, Division of Mission and Ministry in general does have a Facebook page, and we got an Instagram and things like that. But we're a weird beast in itself because, like we said, and kind of started off before, that one thing of social media has probably a million different little subgroups that feed into that one social media. So I would say at least start with DMN, like the DePaul Mission and Ministry Facebook page. From there, you can find lots of other individual links and groups and things like that. But I would definitely say, yeah, check out DMM, Facebook, Instagram, and I know we're all watching Newsline the second it releases every week. So, check out the Newsline for some interesting stuff that pops up in there too. But that would be my quick, I would actually look to my colleagues for better responses, but that was my quick, just make sure at least you like the Facebook page, because that's where most of our large programs are going to be advertised there.
Yeah, I'm with Matt. If you check out the Mission and Ministry page, you can find everything else. You can find the Instagram for Sankofa. You can find the Instagram for CCM and Jewish Life and UMA and Religious Diversity and VIA and Meet Me at the Mission and all these other cool programs that we do. We all really do a good job of making sure we're staying connected with each other. So honestly, if you find one of us, you can find all of us. And you can always contact us directly. You can email me, you can call me. Our information is also, our contact information is also up on the Mission and Ministry page of the website. And you can get in touch with just about anybody in our division that way on the DePaul website.
Awesome. Yeah, for anyone, for all of you Google users, DePaul Division Mission and Ministry takes you right to their webpage.
Right.
All right.
And Janae is right. It's a little both and. If you find the DePaul Jewish Life Facebook page or any of those pages, you will find a link that'll take you back, and vice versa. Like the United Muslims Moving Ahead page, they'll probably link back to some RDPC or some religious diversity page, which will then link you back to a DePaul Mission and Ministry page somewhere. We're all just feeding each other content and kind of cycling it back and forth. So
perfect.
Exactly.
All right. So, when we think about this question, we're thinking in particular about, our newer first years. We know that this is not the year that you expected to start college off with. So what is some advice that you would like to give, in particular, I would say, to our first years that are, or anybody, transfer students, grad students, anybody that's new to our DePaul community?
Reach out and take a risk. I know that's a big ask. I know it's hard. I'm an introvert. I struggle with it to this day in my big grown years. I still struggle with reaching out. But take that risk and reach out. No matter how small it is, right? If you're not ready to go to a program, send somebody a message. Leave a comment on a post that you might see. Ask a question. If you're not ready to dive all the way in, if you're still a little nervous, or take a risk, go to that program you've been thinking about and just see who else is there. Reach out to a student org that you've seen doing something you're interested in. It's a lot harder now because, normally you could just walk into a space and just boom, there's the community because we'd all be on campus. So I know it's a little weird, right? To drop into a Zoom, people you don't know who's going to be there. I'm going to say the thing that I know there are people who are going to hate me for saying this. I'm going to say it anyway. Just sneak in with your camera off. You know what I'm saying? Like if your camera off in Zoom is the standing in the corner of the party. I've discovered that is what I need as an introvert to take that risk. And then you can slip in and no one can see you. And you can either go, okay, no, this is cool. Let me type in the chat. Let me turn on my camera so people can see me. Or you can be like, oh, no. This is cool, but this is not for me. I'm going to just slide out. Nobody saw you. So take those risks. is what I would say. And again, if you are seeing this right now or any of the other groups that HPW is going to have on this program in particular, ask us. And it doesn't have to be about what we talked about, right? If you only remember maybe one person from this or another conversation and you're not quite sure what to do, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to give you advice more personally and more extensively.
And reach out to those that are around you as well. Like if you're a freshman class, reach out to that student mentor in your Chicago Quarter Discover class. Like that's exactly what they're there for, to kind of get some advice about those things. But Mr. Janae's right. What I used to tell people is like, just go in the room and get the pizza and listen to their shtick, and eat your pizza. And if by the time you ate the pizza, either you got some new friends or you are out of there. Like you're done. Mm-hmm. Now what I'm telling everybody is like, make some pizza rolls and click the link, right? Like just click the link, give it 5 minutes. If it's cool, awesome. If not, who cares? Then you're out. Like just go. But you're right. It takes a weird level of courage to just click the link. Janae, I'm with you. I don't even like clicking links that I don't know about. But let's all be brave and join a community and do those things. I get it. So yeah, I'm with you on that, Mr. Janae.
One thing I would add is that it's never going to feel perfect, right? Especially for new students, it will never feel perfect. It will never be perfect, but it'll be exactly what you make it to be. And you create your own reality. This is your college experience, and it can be as big or as small as you want. And you have all the power to do that.
Yeah. Thank you all, and we know you all want to make friends. You really want to make, friends that are really great friendships, right? Not just like acquaintances. And so, like they're saying, take the chance, right? And if your camera's off, like it's okay, you're there, right? And do the best you can and show up in whatever way feels comfortable and meaningful to you. All right, so here's a fun one. We don't have any, oh wait, we do have a question. Let me stop. So, let me put this up. So Timothy, hi Timothy, welcome. So hi everyone, thanks for your amazing energy this afternoon. What advice would you have for someone who might be unfamiliar with religious spaces, especially if culturally religion is not something that it is openly talked about? What a great question, thank you.
So I'll start with really quick, like there are actually some physically located religious spaces on campus that are actually a really big kind of part of our office, the Religious Diversity Office specifically. There's an interfaith space on the first floor of the Student Center in Lincoln Park. There's a DePaul Jewish Life office is on the 3rd floor next to the Muslim prayer space, and that's all on the Lincoln Park campus. On the Loop campuses, there's actually a designated Muslim prayer space as well in the CDM building. There's an interfaith chapel now by the Catholic chapel down in the Loop as well. And so there are actual physical spaces around the university that are dedicated to sometimes specific religions and then sometimes kind of open for anyone who needs to use them. So anyone who's unfamiliar with those spaces in the university, they do exist. Unfortunately, everything's kind of closed right now and on hold, but as soon as we are ready, those spaces will be open, ready for student groups that want to use them. So I can kind of talk about those spaces very specifically. And then of course we have Catholic chapels and churches and things like that around. Senny can speak more to those resources for Catholic students. But I hope that kind of touches on a little bit about religious spaces as far as the DePaul community goes. I wish there was a lot more to discuss right now since it's kind of in a no touchy mode right now with those spaces. So, but I think there's probably a lot more that you could talk about, advice for religious space. But I just want to let you know there are physical spaces around the university dedicated to religion.
I would say be honest about what you're curious about, and explore that curiosity. You can do that with us. You can do that with other students. You can come to us. Again, if you want to grab 2 or 3 people, and if that feels better, to find, maybe another student leader in our offices or another student group before you come to staff. That's also, because that's the other thing, right, we're staff, but we have tons of very amazing students who lead our programming, and you can come to them as well. But I like I said in the beginning, we love good questions. We love questions that we're like, is this weird? We love half-thought questions. If you're asking, I love it. Always ask. So be honest about what you're curious about, and don't ever feel ashamed for what you don't know. I think a lot of us, especially in this country, tend to grow up in the space we grow up in. And unless the container you were in before you got to DePaul was one where you could ask a bunch of questions, where you did have people around you from different faith backgrounds, or your parents were like, whatever, explore whatever, right? There are people whose parents are like, read everything, go to everything. I will drive you to whatever cultural space you want to. And then there are other people's parents who are like, get up, you're going to church on Sunday. I don't care if you're tired, right? Like we have different experiences. And so I would say that whatever you're coming with, don't be afraid of what you do and don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I work for DePaul and there's plenty I don't know all the time. I learn from my colleagues all the time. I learn from Senny all the time. I learn from Matt all the time and vice versa. So whatever you're curious about, your question's okay. Whatever you don't know, it's okay. Whatever you do know, and give yourself credit for that, right? Empower yourself to stand in what you do know, because we all already carry a lot more wisdom than sometimes we are allowed to give ourselves credit for. And that there are no hard and fast rules about how you figure that out. And so I would say wherever you are, I'm saying a lot, but what I'm really trying to say is wherever you are, whatever you're wondering, whatever your questions are, however you're leaving what you knew and coming into something new, however you are taking the old thing in pieces and finding some new pieces and integrating it together, all of that is normal. Faith shifts in college are big normal, like super normal. I would say that my belief systems rotate in phases throughout my entire life. Yeah, ask whatever question you want to ask. And again, if you aren't ready to ask it in a group, you can always contact us. Again, we don't judge. We'll keep your confidence. Just whatever you want to know is okay.
All right, thank you. So another fun question, but what is your favorite part of your job?
I love getting to know so many different students and their quirks and their talents and their amazing questions. I think as campus ministers, we get an opportunity to have a front row seat to walking along life with young people. And that's my favorite part, to hear the things that they come up with and what they're struggling with and what they're overjoyed by. And that changes every day.
Yeah, hands down the students. Hands down. This is literally why we took this. That's literally why we took these jobs. And y'all are amazing. Like, and I'm not just saying that. Y'all are actually amazing. The brilliance, the humor, the wit, the deep thought, the good questions, the honesty, the vulnerability, the way you all build community with each other, the way you all find and figure things out, the way you all teach us. My favorite part of my job is discovery with students. And that's discovery together. That's helping them discover things that they're seeking. That's them discovering something and sharing it with me. And I'm like, oh crap, now I've just discovered something I didn't. Discovery is my favorite part of my job. And when that happens with students, is the thing that, like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I had a great day because me and the student discovered something today.
I'm gonna sound lame if I say the students, but it's so true. What I'll say is, like, being able to, like, create and be a part of other people creating experiences for others. Like, that is just so awesome and meaningful. And that's really what religion is about, what community is about, is being able to be in a space where, like, you can create something awesome for yourself and somebody else, and be able to, like, walk with students on journeys, to go on a service immersion trip with a group of students and become another level of friend and mentor to, like, a group of students, is just something unexplainable. But the idea that, like, ministry itself is about creating that experience. And, like, that's really what this whole thing is just, it went from, like, glorified party planner in my head to, like, experience maker. That really is what it is. It's not just planning parties that have to do on the Jewish calendar. This is, like, creating experiences for students that they wouldn't otherwise be able to have, or have the opportunity to create for each other and themselves. And that's what it's all, that is really the best part, is sitting back, like, in an awesome event and having even if there's 100 people in the room and 2 people are really getting it, that's a win. Like, that's the experience done, whole thing successful. We had 100 butts in the room, but only 2 people really engaged with it. Like, then you won twice. That's a 200% win with a great experience that they get to take with them for the rest of their lives, and that's what it's all about. I'm really patting myself on the back here. I need to stop. So yeah.
No, that was wonderful. Thank you all. I mean, yeah, I definitely echo and agree with everything you all just said. And, just to be part of our students' journey, part of a small but really significant and important part of their lives is really why we're all here. And so please reach out to us. We're here for you. And our last question of the day is, right, self-care.
Most important.
We know how difficult this time is and how difficult things are going to be in the future, right? We're always going to have challenges and difficulties, and in particular right now, right? So what is keeping you grounded? What is keeping you positive and upright and moving forward every day?
Okay, I have my top 3. Cooking. I love to cook. Sometimes you just got to chop a bunch of things and make it magic to make you feel good about yourself and about the day. I made gumbo recently. I'm still riding that high. My second favorite thing to do to take care of myself is to check in with people who know me really, really well. So who can tell me whether or not I'm tripping, who will be honest with me and be like, "No, girl, that's you." Or they'll be like, "No, it's not you. X, Y, and Z. Maybe you need this. Maybe you need that." No, it's okay. People who I can cry with, people who I can laugh with, people who I can just be like, "Can you look at this real quick and let me know if I've lost my good sense." That's my other favorite thing, is staying in touch with those people, even though we can't be physically together. And then the third thing is learn. I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd at heart. So I love learning new random things, like things that are absolutely relevant to my job, and then things that have nothing to do with what I do for a living. So I will binge watch YouTube channels, because I didn't know that this was how you repaired metal mechanical things. And like now I know all these things that I'm never going to actually do with my own hands, but it's cool because now I know this thing and I learned it. I'm taking a class right now on tarot cards because a lot of my students are interested in that. And I'm like, okay, like Matt said, right? Like, oh, you came to me, told me this is the thing you need. Bet. I'm gonna take a class so we can do this together, right? So I'm loving it because I'm nerding out. I'm learning a whole new thing I didn't know a whole lot about before. Give me a good audiobook, a good podcast. It doesn't have to be intellectual. One of my favorite podcasts is Lore, and it's literally just spooky stories from all around the world. And that's that. And I learn a lot about culture and about humanity by listening to that, which is also why I like horror movies. If a horror movie doesn't tell you who we are as humans, it's not a good horror movie. That's just my personal theory. But anyway, those are my top 3 things. Cooking, checking in with my people, and being a nerd.
We're going to have you back to explain tarot cards to us now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Or you can watch this segment on the RDPC Instagram page.
Okay. We're there. We're going.
Whenever we'll let you know when we publish.
Please share.
I'll jump on a little piece of self-care. The thing I was thinking about the other day was like, it's okay to not care for a little bit. Like I know there's a lot of serious things going on, and there's a lot of tension, and there's a lot of anxiety, and there's a lot of things to care about. I totally understand. Yeah. It's okay to just feed your cat and take a bath and like not care about it for an hour or 2. It'll still be there. The social justice issues will still be marching for tomorrow, but it's okay to just like take a step back and take a breath and not care about it for a little bit each day. I know we all care, and we care greatly, but like, it's okay. It's okay to just not care for a little bit. And then you can go back to caring really hard, I promise. But take a break for a little bit each day. That's my quick tip.
Thanks, Matt.
I'm sending hearts. Yes, that is so good. It's good to not care. It gives us strength to care when we do. It's sustainability. I like crafty things. I like stickers. Everyone who knows me knows that. I like to put stickers in my planner, and fresh flowers. I keep fresh flowers in my house. And also watching silly things that have nothing to do with anything. I like to watch Disney movies and find God in Disney. Just the other day I was watching Despicable Me, and I thought, that's a conversion story. Exactly.
Janae and I are about to be all over this. We're like, those are the
Disney,
players of ball.
Disney preaches. Disney preaches. There are also cartoons that preach. We can go on and on about this.
I am here with you because I've been also rewatching Disney shows, and it is enlightening to say the least. It's not what I thought it was when I was younger.
Yeah, I mean, Frozen 2 can't, like, talk about a timely word. I love it. So making those connections, and I think it's good for the soul. It's good for the soul, and it's good for the heart to have a chance to rest from it, because caring can be exhausting, and we're in it for the long haul.
Absolutely. Please fill your cup with whatever you need, right? Well, I just want to say thank you so much to all of you. That this has been such a joy seeing all of you, and it's been quite a long time. And I want to throw one more question, and I actually have something to add to this, but I want to give folks just kind of, some interest into some upcoming programming you might have that might be super interesting to them. I know that HPW is working with Gina and her folks of Peacemakers. So October 6th, we know that is a really incredibly important, stressful, overwhelming week. November 6th, we are holding a Peace Wellness Circle. So find us on DHub. But that is a wonderful collaboration that we have brought for all of our students. So please come to that if you just need space to just be supported, right? You can say something, you can say nothing at all.
I'll jump in real quick. Next week, the 28th, is the quarterly interreligious celebration, Quirk, QIRC. It is a collection of student artists showcasing what they've been doing. We're kind of centering it around COVID projects, but it's kind of up for anything. It is students from all faiths and backgrounds, all worldviews and philosophies coming together for community, for engagement, for fun. A little bit of, kind of a spiritual background, and maybe if this piece or this art installation has something to do with their worldview or philosophy, but generally it's just a bunch of students showing off in a cool way. So come check it out. It's going to be live on the Facebook channel and on the YouTube channels on both RDPC and Division of Mission and Ministry next the 28th at 3 p.m. I think, but it's live and it'll be on there forever, so you can watch it whenever you want after 3. So come check out the Quirk next week.
Perfect.
The Catholic Women's Group is going to have their first pajama party retreat on November 7th, 6 to 8 p.m. You can find that online. And then also we have Sunday night mass, socially distanced in person, and also we're live streaming every Sunday on Facebook at 8 p.m. All are welcome.
The Sankofa Black Student Formation Program is going to have 2 Sip and Soothe tea events during HPW's Brain Fuel Week. Mm-hmm. So that's November the 11th and the 12th. I'm announcing it so early because we're getting ready to post the link for you to send us your addresses on Instagram. So follow us at DePaul Sankofa. The whole, just spell it all out, at DePaul, SANKOFA. And that link should be going live sometime this week. We'll be giving out Black Students Matter mugs, tea, and other little treats in the box. Excuse me. Thank you. And if you follow us there, you'll get all the Sankofa programming. You'll get to meet some of our student leaders, and you'll also get to check out our weekly on repeat playlist that our student leaders are cultivating. And next quarter, we'll be asking some of our awesome partners to contribute to that as well. I also do regular ongoing pastoral care with students with whatever questions they have. And you can find my scheduling link. I know we all have those scheduling links on the website. I'm in the process of getting together some students who have some similar questions. So if you've just got questions, let me know. And Seni and I also are actually doing a lot of support for LGBTQ students. We'll be doing monthly check-ins, so you can follow CCM and Religious Diversity on Instagram to check out the next dates for those as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day. We know you are incredibly busy supporting our students, and this was wonderful. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your week, and please continue to fill your own cups with love and warmth. And we just support you so much, and thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank
Take
you for
care.
having us.